this question is a bit spicy, so you guys are actually going to get me in trouble. Sometimes it can be really toxic. Hey guys, and welcome back to another video. So today is a special video. Today we celebrate 40,000 subscribers. I just want to start off this video by saying thank you guys so much. Thank you to everyone who's liked, who's commented, who's subscribed. Every single thing that you've done, thank you, because it's made all the difference. And I started this YouTube channel just to help other people, just to help other people get into dentistry, help people improve their grades, and I never knew that it would go this far. So I just want to say a special thank you to all of you guys who have subscribed over the years, from the first subscribers to the subscribers who subscribed like last week, yesterday, anytime. I just want to say a big thank you from the bottom of my heart, because you guys have done a lot for me. I'm going to continue posting content that is worthwhile and helpful for you guys. So yeah, I just wanted to say all of that and just thank you again for 40k, and let's get into this video. So today we're basically doing a Q&A to celebrate 40,000 subscribers. I haven't done a Q&A before, so hopefully this should be good. And I basically asked you guys on Instagram to ask me any question that you want, whether it's personal, whether it's about school, anything. And today we're going to be going through them, and hopefully you guys can learn a bit more about me. So let's get straight into it. And if you aren't following me on Instagram, then this is your sign to follow me. My Instagram is at @SmileBySola, and I post a lot of different tips, advice, and things that you wouldn't get on here. So definitely be sure to follow if you have an Instagram account so you don't miss out on the loop. So our first question is by one of my friends, and they basically asked, if I died halfway through my UCAT, would they give me a higher score? So I personally haven't been in this situation before, so I can't say too much, but I would say that probably not, because you didn't finish the UCAT and you didn't click submit. I would say they wouldn't give you a score at all. I know that can be really disheartening to hear, but there's all these rumors about if someone dies in the exam, everyone gets an A, everyone gets an A star. I honestly feel like it's not true. I feel like they would give you a chance to resit it, and they wouldn't just automatically give everyone an A. So that's just something for everyone to bear in mind. Someone asked me, what was your favorite GCSE subject? So in GCSEs, my favorite subject would have to be computer science. Even though I didn't pursue it, I actually did want to pursue it as a career, but there were just some aspects that I didn't like of it. I really liked the fact that I could make my own programs and basically tell a computer what to do. And I really liked the programming side of it. I did not like the content side of it at all, but I loved the programming side. I loved making games. I loved making little programs, little things that could solve tasks. And I just think that if I pursued that, that would have been a really good career as well. So yeah, that was my favorite subject, computer science. So someone asked me, where am I from? And that's like nationality wise. So guys, I am from Nigeria. I'm sure you guys have probably noticed from my name, or like what I'm wearing right now. I'm wearing a dashiki. I'm from Ekiti State, and I love Nigeria. I love the culture, I love the music. And Afrobeats, in terms of Afrobeats, Nigeria is always on top. In terms of jollof rice, let's not get into jollof rice right now, but jollof rice, Nigeria is always on top. No one fight me in the comments, but that's the truth. And yeah, I'm proudly Nigerian, but I was born in London, so I'm technically Black British, and yeah. So this leads on from the last question. Someone asked me, what is my favorite Nigerian dish, and can you cook it for us? So I have a lot of favorite Nigerian dish. I can't really solely pick one because it depends on the mood. If it's summer, I really like jollof rice and fried rice, and like some kind of fried chicken or fried fish. That combo, that Nigerian party combo, take me back to those parties, because that combo on a summer's day was absolutely amazing. But in the winter, or like in the majority of the year, I love pounded jam. I love pounded jam and egusi or efo riro, but I think pounded jam and egusi is probably my favorite combo. I've been liking that since a baby. I've been eating pounded jam, so if you guys know me, pounded jam is probably my favorite meal, with okele, any stew, but my favorite combo would have to be egusi stew. Can I cook it for you? I'm not the best at cooking egusi or efo riro, but I can cook jollof rice and fried rice. So maybe one day I'll make a video where I show student meals and basically show you how to make Nigerian food. Let me know if you guys would like to see that in the future, because I actually think I'm going to do that soon. So another question relating to my nationality and my culture. Someone said, how do you stay loyal to your study timetable? I live in an African household and I find that it's impossible. So guys, everyone knows if you live in an ethnic household, that studying, like following your timetable to a T, is not always perfect. It's not always possible, because it's always like there's some noise, there's something that you need to do, there's some chores. And one of my best tips for this is to basically, if you find that you really need to do work and your household is not the perfect place to do it, I used to stay at school and I used to stay until like they would literally kick me out and do my work there, because I find that when I can finish all my work there, whatever I do at home, whatever comes up at home, whether I need to like hoover, wash the plate, do whatever, whatever is much more reassuring knowing that I did it at school already. So if you're someone who struggles with like having a noisy household, having like a lot of chores, whatever, be sure to stay at school, stay at a library, stay at a nearby cafe. I know this is not the case for everyone because some people live really far away from their school, but if it is, then really make use of it because it will be a lot more better for you in the long run that you do your work at school and come back and like relax and do whatever, than you go home and it's too noisy, it's too busy, and you don't get to do anything, and then comes the next day, comes the next month, and you haven't revised. So that's something that I really recommend. And I also recommend not being rigid, because some days you're not going to do your timetable, so sometimes you're not going to be able to revise that day, and that's okay. Just make sure that you always take the opportunities that you can. So if you're in the house alone, if your house is quite quiet one day, just do your work and don't make excuses, especially when you have the opportunity to revise. So here's another question. Someone asks, what is my favorite drink to cool down in the summer? So as I said before, I'm a very picky person. I can't really pinpoint one favorite drink, but I would say I really like a cup of ice cold water. Like, do you know when you can see the condensation on it? That's what I really like to cool down. I also like iced coffee. I personally make brown sugar shaken oat espresso. That's literally a mouthful, but I've made it so many times that it's so easy for me to say that. I make that at home, and I also like the Starbucks one, but it's so overpriced, so I just learned how to make it using my coffee machine. I also like matcha, iced matcha, absolutely splendid. And I love tropical juice with ice. That is also something that I really love. What is the worst thing about studying Ooh, this question is a bit spicy. So what is the worst thing about studying dentistry? You guys are actually gonna get me in trouble. So the worst thing about studying dentistry, I would have to say, is the competitiveness, like the competition. Like, I don't know, I feel like once you're in dentistry, there shouldn't be a competition, because it was already hard to get into dentistry, but like there's this like unsaid, like unspoken of competition where everyone wants to be the best, and fair enough, but sometimes it can be really toxic, especially if you're someone who compares yourself a lot. I used to compare myself a lot to other people, but I found out that comparison is literally the thief of joy. You need to focus on yourself. At the end of the day, if you pass, you pass. Everyone's gonna graduate, so like focusing on, oh, I need to get the best score, oh, I need to beat this person, it's just so toxic and it will wear you down in the long run. So I really recommend, if you're going into dental school or medical school or like some other competitive course, really just learn how to focus on yourself and not to care about what other people are doing. I know it's really hard, but if you don't, you end up being like sad, depressed. You just need to focus on yourself when it comes to these degrees, because the main thing you want to do is pass. Like, it doesn't matter if you got 100% in your first year exam, like no one actually cares. You want to pass, you want to graduate so that you can get a job. It's not anything more than that. And really try to stay away from the competition and competitive people, because they will really bring you down. How old am I? So I'm currently 21. It hurts to say that because I still think I'm 16 for some reason, but I'm currently 21. I don't know if I look 21, but yeah, I'm 21 right now. My birthday's in September, so I'm gonna be 22 really soon actually. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that. Okay, so someone said, what made you start a YouTube channel? Congrats, by the way. Thank you. So what made me decide to make a YouTube channel is I basically always liked video editing. Like, I know that sounds really like cliche, but I love video editing. Even as a 10-year-old, I was making little music videos and games, and I used to love content creation and like posting things even from the age of 10, like 9, 10, 11. And I found that I wanted to make something that made a difference. I didn't want to just make music videos, because obviously I can't be playing games for the rest of my life, but I wanted to make a difference. I wanted to show and share my tips and advice. And I felt like I had more to give the world, and I just wanted to make sure that like people who didn't have opportunities like me, people who would have struggled by themselves, they get to have advice that would help them and help them to succeed. Because a lot of people have people in their ear saying, oh, you're not going to succeed, you're not. I just wanted to make a channel that's accessible for everyone, and I just wanted to help people, honestly. It sounds really cliche, it sounds really whatever, but yeah, that's my motivation behind making a YouTube channel. Someone said, I want to be a doctor when I'm older, but the pay right now is low. Should I be a dentist instead? Okay, so this is a good question, but the thing that you have to realize is for both of these careers, you shouldn't focus on money, because there's so many different careers you could do that could earn you more money with less stress and less like risk of being sued, like office jobs, corporate jobs. I don't know the specific jobs, but like, you know, there's so many things you can do rather than something that can impact someone's life for money. So I would recommend, if you're going into a career like this, you shouldn't do it for money. You should do it because you enjoy helping people, you enjoy the science of it, the art of it. And yeah, I wouldn't say pick one because the pay is bad. Pick one because it suits your work-life balance more. You're really passionate about going into surgery, or you're really passionate about going into dentistry. Pick something because you actually want to do it from your heart, because a lot of people realize that they do this for money, they do this because their parents telling them, and they get depressed and they don't want to pursue the career anymore. So when you are planning to go into dentistry, planning to go into medicine, really think about whether you want to do it and not your parents or not your sister or like whoever's pressurizing you. Just make sure that it's your decision and no one else's, and not just because of money, because money is important, but it shouldn't be the thing that decides between medicine or dentistry. At the end of the day, the starting salary is pretty much similar. Like I think dentists earn like 2-3K more, and then there's like the potential to earn more, but it depends on what you specialize in, what you do, like what area you're in. There's so many things that impact it. So I wouldn't say because you're going to be a dentist you're going to be rich, because that is not the case. There's a lot of things going on, so don't base your choice solely on money. But it's a good question though. I probably would have asked that before. So someone said, what is the best thing about living in London? So I just have to say that I've lived in London my whole life, and when I go somewhere that's quiet or like somewhere that is not a like proper city, I don't know, I just don't feel comfortable. Like I feel like it's too quiet, there's nothing to do. I like how in London, when I was thinking about different universities, I was thinking, should I go outside, should I stay? But London, everything is so accessible. Like you can't just wake up one day in the middle of like Scotland or Wales and say, let me go pottery painting, let me go Stratford, let me go West End. It's so hard, and you need like I like how London is walkable and you can use transport and you can get to anywhere you want to be by yourself. So if you're like an independent person, if you like to do lots of different activities, London is like the place for you. But obviously London, people always say London is bad vibes, but I feel like everyone just says that to say it. A lot of people, like obviously some people are rude, some strangers are rude to you, and there's like catcallers, and there's instances where you wish people would be nicer and like smile at each other on the street, but that's just not how London is, and I'm fine with that. I really like the benefits of living in London, and it does come with its own problems, but I think this is the place that I'm most comfortable in. Someone asked, out of all of your homemade drinks, which is your favorite, i.e. matcha, iced coffee, etc. I go through phases, but right now I feel like a matcha is more refreshing, and I also like how it doesn't make me jittery. After I have iced coffee, the way my hand will be shaking like this is actually crazy, and matcha doesn't do that, so I think I prefer matcha right now. Another person asked, what A-levels did you take? So I took biology, chemistry, and religious studies. And a lot of people are surprised when I say I didn't do maths, but honestly guys, A-level maths is nothing compared to GCSE maths, and I hated it with passion. I did it for AS, so this is basically when you take 4 A-levels and then you drop 1. And when I tell you, I was literally counting down the days until I could drop it. I've never hated the subject so much. So yeah, I did biology, chemistry, and RS, and I really did enjoy RS. I really loved my teachers, I loved the curriculum, I loved learning about different religions and different viewpoints, and I would do it again. I would do it again. I would do that combo again. It's really good, and it's a really underrated combo. So someone said, which exams do you think are more important, GCSE or A-level? So guys, depends. Like I feel like GCSEs are important, but not as important as people think they are. Like, especially when it's your first exam, when it's your first like real exam apart from SATs, you think, oh my gosh, this is the most important thing in the world. I need to get 9s in everything. I need to ace everything. But at the end of the day, if you pass everything and you get like 7s or so-and-so, it doesn't actually matter what you actually get in particular. I feel like for competitive careers, obviously you want to get like all 7s or 6s and above, but at the end of the day, GCSEs are not like the most important things. I think A-levels are really, really important. People often burn themselves out in GCSEs and they don't get the A-levels they need. A-levels are the things that the university looks at the most, I feel like, because that's the thing that actually helps you get into the course, and that's in the grid. They have a bit more leniency with GCSEs, but with A-levels, like for some degrees, if you don't get the A-star, you can get all A's, but if you don't get A-star, AA, they're not gonna accept you. So that shows the importance of A-levels. I would say try not to burn out in GCSEs, do your best, but obviously A-levels are really important for a lot of degrees. So learn to have a balance, and yeah, I would say A-levels are more important. Someone said, who is your favorite musical artist? I know you guys are gonna hate me for this, but I don't have an all-time favorite artist. I have phases, so when I like an artist, I'm gonna almost exclusively listen to their songs and their songs alone. I will literally listen to their album, all of their songs, and I will literally stay on that for like a month or 2. Right now it's SZA, and I got to see her in concert, and it was actually amazing. Like, it was the best concert it's the only concert that I've been to, but it was really, really good, and I'm so obsessed with her songs right now. My favorite song right now, I think it would have to be Smoking on My X-Pac, Gone Girl, or Special, or SOS. So many different songs, but guys, I think she's probably my favorite artist right now. But let's see how long that lasts, because I go through phases, and then once I'm done with the song, once I'm done with the artist, I won't listen to them for a good 6 months, and then I'll go back to it. It's really weird, I know, but that's how I am. So back to a deeper kind of question. Someone said, what keeps me going? I would have to say, I don't know. That's actually a really deep question, actually. What keeps me going? I would say, like, looking towards the future, do everything that I do in terms of education, my YouTube channel, everything. I want to become the person I envision myself to be in the future. I want to make sure that future Sola, future me will be like, oh my gosh, I'm so glad that younger me did this. I'm so glad that you took all of these opportunities, that you stepped outside your comfort zone, that you revised, that you helped other people. And I just want to make sure that I want to try to live a life of no regret. Like, I look back in the past and I'm like, oh, I wish I did this, or I wish I was more talkative, or I wish I was less shy, or I wish I did that, I wish I did this. And I don't want to live that kind of life anymore. I want to live a life where I basically try for all of the opportunities that I want to try. If I don't get it, if it's like a role or if it's like an application and I don't win, I don't get it, it's fine. But I want to make sure that I try everything. I don't want to live my life and be like on my deathbed and be like, oh, I wish I did that. That would be the most disappointing thing for me. So what keeps me going is myself, basically, and my future and my family. I want to make my family proud. I want to reward my parents for like bringing me up, for all of the struggles that they had. And yeah, that's pretty much what keeps me going. Someone said, what are the pros and cons of dentistry? This is actually a video in itself, and I've done it with this person. So this question is by Dentistry, and I've actually done a collab with her. I love her. She's such a nice person. Definitely make sure you check out her channel and my video of her. Basically talks about the perks of cons in dentistry, why you shouldn't study dentistry. It's just a really clickbaity title. Like, I'm not saying you shouldn't do dentistry. Obviously, if you want to do it, you should do it. We basically talk about the pros and cons of dentistry and like things that people don't know and things that we wish we knew before applying. And yeah, definitely check out that video. And then another question is, how do you manage your time while studying for exams and content creating? So I would say I'm probably not the best person at doing this. Like, it used to be one or the other. Like, if it was exam season, I would completely dip. Like, you wouldn't see me, you wouldn't see one Instagram post, but I'm trying to be better. So one thing I like to do is batch record. I like to have like one day out of the month where I record 5 or like 4 videos, and this is basically really draining, but it's worth it in the end, because that means for the whole month I basically have all of my content ready. I have a video editor now, so I don't have to edit all my videos. I can edit like 1 video or 2 videos, and it basically takes the weight off me, because a lot of content creation is based on video editing. That's what takes the longest time. Like, some videos can literally take me like 10 hours to edit, and I can't do that all the time, especially with dentistry. Having a video editor, batch recording, planning my videos on a day where I don't really have anything, I find that that's really helpful for maintaining content creation and education and not failing my exams. So I really recommend doing that. And when it's exam season, I like to do more exam focused topics. So like things like study with me is really easy for me to film, because I'm studying anyways and people actually enjoy watching study with me. So that's another thing I recommend to do. Another question is, any advice on how not to be lazy all the time, always on social media 24/7? This is actually something that I struggle with myself from time to time. I find that when I'm on TikTok for a really long time, I need to like, I'm almost glued onto the screen. It's like I'm in a trance, and it's actually really not healthy. When I realize I'm in this trance, if it's like really bad and I know I need to study, I literally get out of the app and I delete it. It's really dramatic, it's really forceful, but it actually does work. Most of the time, these apps, they're basically there to draw you in. Like, especially TikTok is an endless scroll. You can scroll for the rest of your life if you wanted to. But obviously, the thing that makes the difference between people who pass and like get amazing grades and aren't lazy and productive is because they know when to stop and they know what is distracting them and they avoid it. You basically want to make whatever you want to do, like studying, cleaning your room, whatever, the path of least resistance. This means that it takes the least amount of work, it takes the least amount of energy to do it. So procrastinating, it takes the most amount of energy to do it. So things like your phone, literally turn off your phone, delete the apps, put your phone in another room. It's just little things like that that can really help. So guys, this video is actually coming out to be really long, so I'm gonna end it here. If I didn't answer your question, I'm really sorry. Be sure to shoot me up a DM and I'll try to reply. So guys, that is pretty much the end of the video. I really appreciate all of the questions, and thank you again for 40k. I'm really happy about it. I'm really grateful about it. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Be sure to like, comment and subscribe, especially if you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.